Hi, this is Get Real with Chris and Mark, and this week's episode we have a special guest. We have Sweet Blue Smoke here today, and we're going to start talking after this. We're going to have a conversation about the hurricane relief.
Okay.
So, you okay with that, Mark?
Yeah, I didn't even know what we were
I know you
talking
didn't.
about
I
today.
know.
I'm like, what's he gonna say?
Sorry, I picked 3 or 4.
It's so exciting. So tell us about yourselves and your business. If you guys want to introduce yourselves real quick.
I'm Nancy Bosket. This is my husband.
I'm Jim Bosket, and we started Sweet Blue Smoke 4 months ago.
Why Sweet Blue Smoke? What's that mean?
Blue smoke is when the fire is burning, it's cleanest. It's almost invisible. You don't have a sooty flavor. You have nice, clean smoke, and that's pretty sweet.
Well, I had that is pretty sweet. I like it. Yeah. So I had the privilege. I've been by. I've checked it out. I had a great lunch there. It was amazing. And so, and as everybody can tell, we got an amazing spread here of all the stuff that you brought with you today. So, what made you decide to do barbecue?
It's been a passion, and we've actually been working on the recipes probably at least 12 years.
Wow.
And how we would move things. So it's been a long time coming, and we had a construction company that we don't have now, and it was time.
Well, it was time. I get it. Well, I mean, I've got to say, Mark, I know you haven't tried it yet, but they have this smoked blueberry barbecue sauce, right? Which I have never heard of in my entire life.
That sounds amazing.
And
it
is. It
I'm
is
excited.
pretty cool. Yeah. So you guys decided, you decided to start this company, and you're in Callaway, Maryland, which we want to make sure we point out, everybody. It's really easy to get to, right off the road, right there, right next to our guest from the previous episode.
That's right.
You guys are
Yeah.
really close together.
Yeah.
So, but that's cool. I really love it. And I had a great lunch there. I really did. So.
Thank you.
Awesome.
So what else? What do we have? Tell us what we got.
Yeah.
So we have a creamy coleslaw. We make in-house. Everything's house-made. We have, based on his grandmother's potato salad recipe, and we change it up a little bit. And then we have brisket burnt ends. That's one of our newest
those
ones,
look
and we
good. Yeah, they
use
do.
like a Korean barbecue on it. And then we have our pulled pork, and all of our pickle-ish. We call it pickle-ish because it's not like a true pickled. It's a quick pickle, so we call it pickle-ish. And that's our dill pickle-ish, our sweet onion. This is one of my favorites, the spicy pineapple. Goes great with
I'm not waiting.
pork belly.
Send it.
I'm not.
And
I'm
then
not
our
Mark.
creamy mac and cheese. And sometimes people get our
Spicy.
brisket
That's
and
good.
put it on top of the mac and cheese. We call them floaters.
Okay.
But we have 7 barbecue sauces.
Tell me that's not delicious.
That's good.
Yeah, that's
It's
really
different,
good. I
yeah.
love it. Spicy and
Different. It goes
is
great
different.
with. It's kind of a
Pork belly,
cleanser.
It goes nice with pork.
I like it.
We wanted some cleansers for the richness of the meats.
yeah.
So that if you have a balance like that, you're more likely to eat more.
Just the right amount of spicy in there too. Just a little
Yeah,
tingle, not
but
too
it's sweet
hot.
too, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, I
It
love
takes
that.
you to a place that it's like, oh, okay, this isn't going to hurt.
Right.
And
It's like I could eat more of that.
Yeah.
You know what's this is what I love about this opportunity for everybody here. You said you've been working on this for years. You can tell that wasn't something that just appeared, right? There's effort in that, and you can really tell it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that, Mark? I mean, like, there's like real flavors that like somebody took time to develop. So that's really awesome. That's
Thanks.
kind of cool.
Thanks.
I was waiting for Nancy to be like, well, I actually whipped that up last
Yeah,
week.
I know.
It's
just
a
a
new
new thing.
invention. No.
All right, so Mark, this is where I'm digging it.
We're
All right.
Let's do it.
probably our own worst critics, and that's why when you're spending 12 hours at a grill, it better taste good. And if there's something that can be better through the years, the next time you smoked, you'd make improvements, and that's where
Second one of those.
I say that it was years. None of it ever was bad, but how else can I make this brisket better?
Right.
And how can I alter the smoke in some way? And with two of us, we can only eat so much. So it took,
good to feed other
maybe
people.
a decade to eat and enough food to have that happen.
Right.
Because when you're at home, two people, and you're smoking 40 or 60 pounds of meat at a time, you just can't eat that much this
Right.
week.
Yeah.
You said something that kind of makes me think. Standing 12 hours in front of a smoked grill or smoker, man.
That's the difference too.
That's
Well,
the difference. Yeah.
That's something else we're doing different than just about anyone around here. We call it craft smoking, in that there's no electric or gas involved. It's all a pitmaster standing in front of a fire.
Wow.
And so it gets tended. You wear a timer around your neck every 15 minutes.
You check it.
Even if you're helping me with something, if that thing goes, I know you're walking.
Right.
And you're checking the fire every 15 minutes all day long.
Yeah.
That's really
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
We took years and years too of investigating other barbecue, like just researching everybody else's barbecue and what we liked, what we didn't like, what
I need
paired
that job.
together.
I need that
We
job.
actually, because of that, became Kansas City barbecue judges, and
Oh,
Awesome.
we went out to
And we've
Kansas
judged
City.
the World Series of Barbecue twice.
Yeah,
So you guys know what you're doing.
We
So
judged the pre-party once.
oh.
that was
I
That's
just
probably
want to
the
say
best.
those burn-ins are really good.
Yeah, those are really tasty.
So you said that was like Korean barbecue is what you did with
it's
those?
the marinade on it.
Yeah, a little sweet. I like it.
Yeah, we
Really
use
good.
there's, within a single brisket, there's
Yeah, go ahead.
different qualities of meat. Marbling is a word that's thrown around a lot, and the heaviest marbled, what I consider the best part of the brisket, is what we make the burnt ends out of. So they're going to have the highest fat content.
I want to point out, you commented that you do the deconstructed sandwich earlier.
Yeah.
You can see why, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, it's juicy barbecue. It's not
Yeah.
dried out. Yeah.
You didn't want it to dry out on the way here, I guess. That makes
Well,
perfect sense.
what happens, the meat won't dry out. Your bun will be like pudding.
Right.
Bread,
Yeah.
barbecue
We
bread
try
pudding.
to tell
That's good
people
stuff
they
right
don't
there.
need sauce, and we've made sauces because a lot of
So-
people that's what they're
You don't need
used to.
sauce with that, but it's
But-
delicious.
Yeah, it's
So
just
what-
an added.
We're trying
thing.
pulled pork right now, which is nice and juicy, awesome.
Certain ones go better with different things. That's why we're kind of guiding you.
Okay.
The mustard will go especially good with the beef
If you
That
like
is good.
mustard, yeah. And then the pork belly goes really good with the sweet blueberry.
I see you got a bottle of sauce there. Is that the butt burner?
No, this
No,
is the
that's
original.
the
Okay.
original.
We sell it like this too at the store. If we sell like
Like
large,
I would buy this
portions
and
and-
use it at home. Like,
Which one's
Yeah.
the butt burner?
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. It's
Yeah.
not too you know what I mean?
It's
Like
not
you
a
said, it
place of
takes you
pain.
there, but it doesn't
Yeah.
hurt.
yeah,
That's pretty good stuff.
That blueberry barbecue sauce.
yeah,
Man.
yeah. And we'll also we started doing Cubans with our pork belly.
Nice. My wife loves Cubans. Like anytime we go to a place there's a Cuban on the menu, she's ordering it. So I'll get the broken fence, and
And
she'll
she'll get
more
the-
than likely get a Cuban. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Those
love
are-
pork
those
belly
are our
though.
specials,
That's one of
yeah.
my favorites.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I'm going to get to the potato salad because I consider myself a potato salad connoisseur.
You're
to be
just
honest
trying to
with
cool
you.
down that butt
No,
burner,
no,
aren't
the
you?
butt burner's good. I'm good. It's not. It doesn't
That's
even
funny.
hurt. But I will tell you, I'm very particular about potato salads. So
Yes.
just to put that out there.
I
So
get
this
it.
was your mom's recipe.
It was
let you
his
do it first.
grandmother's. His grandmother's
grandmother.
recipe.
Where are you guys originally from? All over.
Oh boy.
I'm an Army brat,
Me
and
too.
I was IBM.
we met up in Connecticut. He worked for General Dynamics, and we've always been foodies. We used to have parties surrounded by everything was food. It was all food.
Oh boy.
So,
That is really
good.
good. It's like light. You know what I mean? Like
I'm gonna get some more.
it's our
Well,
secret
you're moving towards
weapon.
that palate cleansing thing.
Yeah, that's what I meant,
Now I'm
right.
not ready for the next protein. There they were.
So
they were
we
in
eat
the
the
bag.
pork
That
belly
is
every
really
morning
good.
with eggs. It's like our new bacon because we cure it, the pork belly,
Awesome.
which is different than a lot of people do.
okay. That literally melted in my mouth. Like
Yeah.
if the definition of melting in your mouth is what it did.
Yeah. Sorry, I got a little like
That's are you
nasal
tearing
drip.
up?
Nasal drip.
It's
from
so
the
good, it's
butt
tearing
burner.
up.
The pork
Caught me
belly,
like a couple minutes later.
I've seen
the
you
pork
getting
belly
a
with,
little
Yeah, I
over
was
there.
like, whoa.
with the pineapple is a real nice combination too.
I mean, that is really good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, I want to go.
I think we're probably the luckiest two people in the world right now. Did I mention that?
This was the best idea ever.
Best
Thank
idea
you
ever.
for coming up with this idea.
You're
Chris,
welcome.
and inviting me in. I really appreciate that. Because now I get to sit here and hang out with you and eat some delicious
I mean, where else would I have
food.
this opportunity? This is really, really good.
Thank you.
It's like going on a food tour, but everybody comes to us. Like, genius.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't bring the ribs today, but the ribs are really, really good too.
That's what you want us to come out to the
Yeah, you have to
establishment.
come
You gotta leave us.
Okay.
It's like a
Yeah.
little
Teaser.
hook to come.
Yeah.
Right,
Right.
little teaser. Full disclosure: I did get mac and cheese the last time. That's really, really good mac and cheese.
Thanks.
I mean, it's creamy. The little breadcrumbs or whatever on top.
We
of.
take our cornbread and
Yeah.
when we have crumbs left, we toast the crumbs of the cornbread
And
and
they
we
smoke
sprinkle
'em.
some.
I will tell you that one thing they don't have here that I do remember was their blueberry cornbread.
Cornbread. Yeah.
Okay, so that's another teaser. If you haven't had their blueberry cornbread, you got to go try the
We
blueberry
smoke the
cornbread.
blueberries just like in the blueberry sauce.
They smoke the blueberries.
And it's a
in the-
sweeter
It's in
cornbread?
the cornbread.
Whoa.
And it's kind
And-
of sweet.
yeah.
It's more of a dessert thing, and she does a honey butter
Yeah.
with it.
Awesome.
That
All right, I'm gonna do this, Mark.
It's quite powerful.
Amazing.
We have a,
Like mac
a
and cheese is
manager
good?
who's
Yeah, not
an
making a mess,
amazing
but-
baker. She bakes our specials, like we'll do a crisp or our breads.
Awesome.
She's really
Yeah, that.
So what sauces haven't I? I have this. I have this.
With the
So-
brisket, the mustard sauce is real nice.
All right, let's do that.
You stay with more of the savory ones than the sweet.
I'm
do
still
really
blown
like
away how
mustard
moist
sauce.
everything is, right? Like,
Yeah, especially because it traveled here.
yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. It was just like during COVID, everybody did we had a lot of delivery and a lot of stuff. By the time it got to you, right? This is all moist and juicy and
Yeah.
and it's been a while since it's been on the smoker,
Yeah.
thanks.
Well, that and it's been in transit for an hour and a half.
Oh wow.
Look, I just want everybody to know, like, we're not full of it. Like,
No, I know,
everything
I know.
is really good.
I mean,
Like,
I can't.
obviously, we're not like, oh, that's terrible.
Right.
Like, no, everything is really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I guess maybe we're really lucky because the stuff we've had
Yeah.
has been really awesome.
I like
but,
barbecue though. I mean,
Well,
so-
I do too.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But you guys
came to
have
the right
really. I like what you call it, like craft barbecue,
Yeah,
kind
craft
of thing, right?
smoking,
Craft
yeah.
smoking. I love that. I think it's like a thing that you guys have kind of brought that in here because you can't. You can get barbecue at other places, right? Let's be real. This is different, right? This is like a different level, right?
Yeah.
And I can taste it. I can see the passion in your preparation and what you did here, and I'm going to call you guys out a little bit in a good way.
Okay.
So when we first got here, they were very concerned about how the food was here and the preparation, and you went to wash your hands. I'm just calling you out. I want to make sure this is clear. So this is, to me, that's a great feeling because that means somebody who cares about their customer and the experience. So congratulations for that. That's a big
thanks.
thing,
Yeah, definitely
Well, we
shows.
were something that disappointed us at a number of barbecue places we've been through the years was the sides are like an afterthought, where
Yeah.
they just there was something that I don't know. I've been to barbecue places that give them away. You can just go pick your sides up where you go get napkins and forks.
Right.
And if we were going to do them, we wanted to have them be something to eat. We didn't bring you collards or green beans as far as another teaser goes, but
They're good hot.
yeah,
Really hot.
you'd want to have them hot.
Tell me about this original barbecue sauce because it's also very good. It may be my favorite, honestly.
Oh.
Started with a recipe I got from a client from the construction company. One day on the island in his home, there were badges for here that said Kansas City Barbecue Society judges or whatever, and I'm like, Dave, you judge barbecue? And he's like, oh, it's an excuse to get in the plane and go fly somewhere for the weekend, and we're back for work on Monday, and we get to do something while we're somewhere else. And so that's where I found out about KCBS, and then we became judges years later. And but through that, after that conversation, the next day, Amazon was even young then, was a barbecue cookbook on my back doorstep. And
Oh, wow.
this is, I don't know, 2006 or something. That would have been long. Wow. And ever since, we've kind of been barbecue buddies, and he turned me on when we were talking about sauces to recipes, and that's what started that sauce recipe.
I can appreciate
So
that.
why Callaway?
A couple reasons. It's not far from our home, and Patty that was here last week, she opened, I don't know if she talked about her professional kitchen she has in the back of her catering for small food businesses, so we talked to her, and we asked her, what's with the pizza place next door? And she said, well, she might not be there much longer, and we kind of looked at each other and were like, we were just going to do the food trailer originally and work out of Patty's Kitchens. But then that opportunity, and we've had other food businesses and restaurant before, and it just seemed like a good fit. And the location with the traffic there,
Oh, yeah. And there's not too much down that way, so.
there's not too much down that
Yeah.
way either. So just getting the word out, like, that's why we're so glad you guys invited us to get the word out.
Yeah. Well, awesome.
Well, all I can say is if you're watching today, go check out Sweet Blue Smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because you will not be disappointed. For
I'm
sure.
going. I want to try everything else
Yeah.
on the menu. I can't wait. I might have to carve
I feel
out
like
a
I'm a
special date night just to take my wife over there. She usually doesn't like barbecue, but I can sell her on the fact that there's a Cuban. Yeah, money. Catering.
Yes.
You guys do catering as well?
Yes, we do.
Okay, awesome.
And with a new smoker we just received yesterday, and we're getting to know starting today, our capacity has up about sixfold. So
Oh, wow.
we have the ability to do larger events, and so the catering will become more of a thing.
How excited are you for the new smoker?
I,
You're holding it back
I
right
texted the guys. I feel so weird. I'm like, well, three of them. I have two pit masters and the manager who runs the restaurant with us. So I feel like a 10-year-old. The guy told me, I'll be there in less than an hour.
And you're like, wait, I can't wait.
It was just,
Yeah.
it
It's like
was the
when we
weirdest
acquire a
feeling.
new property.
Right, I know, right.
Right.
Oh, I'm so excited about this thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got to say this was delicious, and thank
Thanks.
you both for coming, and
Thank you for
I
having
can't wait
us.
to come back to Sweet Blue Smoke.
I wish I didn't have lunch because I want to eat everything.
I know,
else.
me too. I know, me too.
It's been a pleasure, but Chris and Mark,
Yeah.
thanks for inviting us and letting us be a part of what
Yeah,
you
for
do.
hanging
exciting.
out.
Thanks for hanging out with us,
Yeah.
and like I said, we feel like two spoiled little kids here. We get food
Oh,
every
yeah, it's
week.
great. And if you guys ever need anything, hit us up.
Yeah.
I mean, we're always diving into local issues and things going on with a business twist. So,
Okay.
you ever run into any challenges out there, or anything that you want to share with the world, that's what we're here to do.
That's exactly what
So,
we're here to do.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thanks so much.
So this week's topic is, I don't know why I thought of it, Mark, is like hurricane relief, right? But what occurred to me is, we've got all these resources that are going down to hurricane relief, right? And every time there's a hurricane,
How'd you get over there?
it was magic. The magic of podcasts. we just hit a button and we're in the wrong time. No, I kind of just didn't like sitting next to you. I'm just saying.
I know. You said it as soon as you got here. You didn't have to say it twice.
I can't. I know. I'm sorry. I
You
can't
need
do
to
it.
do it again for the camera and the
Right. I
microphone.
know. I want everybody to know that. I just didn't want to sit there.
It's because I smell.
I didn't say that.
It's because I don't drink.
Cheers.
Yeah.
No, so first thing is the hurricane
Yeah.
relief. And what kind of got me was I realized we have all these resources that get sent down there to when there's hurricane issues. And it just amazes me that how quickly when they are there, how things are rebuilt and done so quickly. I mean, literally from the ground up. Somebody has house is gone, and in 120 days, they'll have a new house.
Right.
How long does it take to build a new house here in Southern Maryland, Mark?
Well,
Right?
I will tell you, I got one right now that we settled on a lot in February, and we should have a permit shortly.
Right.
It's 8 months.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that property required what's called a forest stand delineation.
Right.
And then, obviously, it needed to be engineered and all those things. But that's how long it takes. And we haven't even
And you
broke
haven't
ground
broke ground yet. That's what I'm saying.
And then from there, it'll be at least another 120 days, if not, 6-8 months.
So it just, it just kind of, sometimes it sickens me, right? Like, because I think of how hard it is for us to get anything off the ground here for any project that you want to get done. And builders and developers, I don't care what anybody says, and I'll look like a bad guy in this conversation, and I'm okay with that. But at the end of the day, builders and developers are really trying to do the best they can given the resources they've got, right? And they're building you know, I know most of them. I don't want to test to all
You're
of
a
them.
former big bad home builder too, right?
I know, right?
You used to do that, like build houses.
I know.
You know what's funny?
I need like
as
the
much as
evil
people
hat.
like hate builders and developers. Guess what? Somebody built your house,
Yeah, I know, right? No, you're right.
And that's the crazy thing about it. And here locally, you know, I feel like a lot of it, it all stems back to the fact that a lot of people don't want growth, right?
Right.
And so how do you stifle that? How do you stifle it? How do you slow it down? Well, you do it by making the process really, really terrible and painful.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. You know, no one wants to stifle rebuilding after a hurricane, right? We all want.
And that's the difference. So the circumstance, the motivations are different, and I think that's what changes. Now the government's like, oh, we need to help people. You know, we get these permits. Everybody works harder under that altruistic motivation.
No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. That's 100% correct.
So I think that's what it boils down to. But I'm glad that you bring it up, because why can't everybody do that all the time for anything?
Well, I mean, look,
you know, why does there got to be a sob story behind something for somebody to, you know, stamp a permit that's on their desk or whatever? And no offense if you stamp permits for a living. But,
no, I get it.
But some offense. I'll
you know, it's funny.
I'll find some offense to that.
I'll tell this story. I remember it was early 1990s, and I started working with a builder, and I was just literally sweeping floors. You know what I mean? And that was my job, and cleaning up houses and I remember we built a model home. This was working for a builder in Prince George's County. Mm-hmm. By the way, I called it Prince George's, not PG.
Yep.
That's a thing. I didn't know that was a thing until recently. So it's Prince George's. My whole life I called it PG County. Right. But now it's Prince George's. So apparently that's what I have to call it. So and lessons learned. I'm okay. Right. But I remember we built a model home, and this was abnormal. Okay. But we broke ground, and it was a race to see how quickly we could build the model home. Right. From breaking ground to finished model home. Okay. We did it in 37 days.
Wow.
Yeah. 2,800 square foot home with a finished basement.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Now, we had a full-time building inspector that they paid to be on site. Many variables that took place.
Right.
However, the concept remains the same, right?
Yeah.
If that's how long it takes to build, and physically, let's say 60 days, right? 90 days, 120 days even.
120 days is cooking.
Yeah, that's moving, right? I just think of that, and I mean, and in today's world with supply chain issues and all that other stuff, there's a million other reasons why it should take longer. But I just think, we need to, when we go to build, the bureaucratic interruptions have gotten absurd.
Well, I think that's everything.
Well, yeah,
that's everything. But going back to the topic of Ian, right?
Yeah.
And the way that it happens so fast, I think part of it too is the money motivator. So put it to you this way, right? I mean, people flock down to those areas because they know that the work is there, and they know that the insurance money and the federal money is going to be flowing. And I'm going to name a sponsor here in a little bit that's actually not necessarily doing it for that purpose, because there is, there's that altruistic motivation that, hey, I want to help people.
Yeah.
But then there's some dollars too.
Well, right.
So the other side of it is that now, you have people, a workforce that's very motivated from a dollars and cents standpoint, that they're going to be compensated well as well. I don't think that, it's a completely separate, different thing from, the bureaucracy side of things. But I think that's why things come together quickly, because you've got a huge workforce that's there, ready to work, and they know they're going to get paid. Which speaks to something too. The same thing when you work on any project. I mean, a lot of times if you go with the cheapest guy, you get a lesser product.
Right.
So when somebody's highly incentivized to do work, they're going to get it done faster.
Yeah. So you're starting out to say that there's lots of people going down there doing different things, and I find that I always remember the Smeco used to send crews down there, but there's also local businesses that also
So our sponsor for this podcast is a company called Been There Dump That. Been There Dump That has small dumpster bins that can be delivered to your property. It's actually really cool because you got these big roll-off companies with these big dumpster cans. Then you got your normal trash company. And what if you're doing yard work on your property? What if you're doing a little renovation, that on your property, and you need to dispose of materials and you don't have a truck or you just don't want to haul it to the dump. Well, been there, dump that is perfect.
So they're like small dumpsters.
Small dumpsters.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So almost like something, and they got different sizes. I think they go up to like a 20-yard. I could be wrong. But anyways, and I only know so much because a friend of mine is involved in that. But basically, been there, dumped that. They're sending a whole bunch of dumpsters down to Florida right now to help out because obviously that's something they're going to need to clean up all this debris and stuff. And I think it's awesome, man. It's a beautiful thing when a business can help somebody and get paid at the same time. So it is a beautiful thing. But I think that the motivations, for most people are in the right place of just going down and
Well, I mean, I do believe that. I believe innately people want to help, right? Like, I mean, in those circumstances, they want to help.
Yeah, just like Smeco, like you mentioned, sending their guys down there, linemen, stuff like that. So.
Right. Well, with that, I guess unless you got some more to talk about hurricane, I just wanted to bring it up and kind of have a little discussion about it.
So the moral of the story is we should always move in a pace like we're coming out of a hurricane. Why? So just because someone has had an extraneous circumstance doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't give that same level of care and service and enthusiasm and energy to someone that's not in an extraneous circumstance.
To them, it's critical too, right? Like, I mean, it's important for them as well.
And I think that's what it boils down to is like the people on the other side of the desk that are approving things or creating or removing regulations they feel empathy for the situation that the people are in. What's interesting is that in a more modern day, like everyday environment, they don't feel that same empathy.
Right.
But there's still challenges. Even though there wasn't a hurricane, somebody's house didn't get knocked down. This person has a family and they're trying to be in by Christmas.
Yep, exactly.
Or they may have to go into a hotel because the house isn't done yet.
Absolutely.
And they're paying interest on a tight budget already for a construction project that's not supposed to take that long. So I think that, there are those circumstances. And look, we're touching on something. We talk a lot about government and bureaucracy in this podcast. But we're touching on something that's very, very, that I feel very passionately about.
Yeah, me too, Mark, honestly. I think it's
And I think that you do too.
Yeah.
But I will tell you right now, if you are in a position where you work for a government, you work for me and you and everybody else.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you should be giving the best possible service that you can to that person because that's who you work for.
So I think of not only just government, but in any business, right? Like, I mean, government's a business, right? Let's be real, right? It should be run more like a business.
It's not a business.
Well, anyway.
But would you run a business if you were $17 trillion in debt?
No, but...
Would you be able to go $17 trillion in debt?
No, not me.
No. None of us would.
No, but
so it's not a business.
The point is that they should.
That's more than
that as an
17
individual, you should still do the best at your job, no matter what it is, right? Like, if you're working in the private industry, great. If you're working in the government, great. But apply yourself the same for each one of those things, and be the best you can be at that job. Same with you and me, right? Like, if we don't apply ourselves to that job, then shame on us. It doesn't matter where we are.
I agree. So I agree, but I want to give some additional context on that. So it's not just about being the best that you can at the job, because some people look at that as the work, right?
Okay.
So we talked before in a previous podcast about a guy that was recreating regulations, right? Thinking he's doing the right thing. He's doing the best that he can at his job because he can interpret this better than the next guy. At the end of the day, it's about people. Life is about people.
No. I mean, it is. Everything we do in government and business is about people.
You should be looking to take care of people in the best way that you can. And better yet, not just doing the job so you can check a box, but looking to make sure that you're taking care of the person that's in front of you. And even if that means on the contrary of what that gentleman was doing, raising your hand saying, hey, this regulation does not make sense for the people. Therefore, we're not going to enforce it.
Right.
I said it.
Right.
And there's been a lot of cases that's been done in governments. And look, you have a choice to do that. You can choose to do that. If the state wants to come sue you, then you take it up.
Right.
But there is the ability for change. There is the ability for regulations to change. There's the ability for mindsets to change. All those things should change around what benefits the people most.
Yeah. No, I actually agree with you. I think having, but I don't want to lose sight of the fact that the person doing their job, right? And as you mentioned, their responsibility is to do what's right for the people that are there, sitting in front of them and try to help them, right?
Yep.
Well, you still need to do the very best you can for that person. If it's outside of your realm, you need to get the next person involved and help them do that, right? Like it's about
and not just throw the roadblock at them and say,
I can't do anything. Hands up, right? Yeah. Like how many times have you encountered that? Like it's out of my control.
So many times.
Right? It's out of my control. Well, if it's out of your control, find out whose control it is in.
It's
right?
funny. I'll bring this up in the next podcast because it pertains to what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
So,
all right. I'm in.
Yeah. Speaking of which.
Yes.
You want to wrap this one up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. So, why don't you tell us where they can find us, Mark?
Oh my goodness, have we not nailed this down yet?
I'm just letting you.
Do I still have to do this?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Do I still have to do this?
Yeah, every time.
All right.
100% of the time.
By the way, I was looking at the other people that are in the room, hiding in the background, not at the camera. So,
yeah, that's okay.
I wasn't asking the audience.
Who do I need to?
Do I still have to do this?
Do you,
audience, do you need to know where to find us?
Doing it. We know where you are.
Right. All right. Listen. So you can find us on thebaynut.com/podcast. So
yes.
We should have a button on the homepage now, I believe.
I don't know.
And we should have a little tab somewhere. So
okay.
If that's not there, it will be there.
Well, that'll be easier because I tried to search this last week and I thought it'd be easier if we could find it.
Yep.
I know you can find, and honestly, the YouTube channel I think is getting some traction too. So we want you there.
Baynet's Facebook page.
Yeah.
That's been a hot topic. So please share it as well. If you're on there. And then Spotify and Amazon Music.
Right, only because I found it.
Isn't that what it was?
It was.
Okay,
right,
cool.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to ask all my friends out there to share our podcast because we want you to put us out there.
Yeah, and I think we offered like $100 to whoever shared it.
You
like,
owe somebody, by the way.
No,
there was something, and actually, we need to talk about that. So someone did, and I got a comment. So I need to talk to you about it.
You got a comment because the person shared it?
Yeah, we owe somebody some money. I think.
All right, I'm going to give them $200.
So they're going to come get you. Yeah. They're going to come hunt you down,
Good.
Mark.
Good.
When that door comes knocking, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
All right, with that, we'll see you next week.
See you.